So, welcome to Salesforce Mars Colony. This is a multi-video series where we are creating a project that models a Mars colony. This is spurred by a large interest personally in the new space exploration efforts and space commercialization that are really being pushed by people like Richard Branson, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, and many more smaller companies. So hope we learn a lot, and we're going to learn some functionality and get hands-on. And so now we'll jump into our org. Welcome back to the Mars colony, and in this video we're going to look at some security options, and also we're going to take the report graphs that we made from the last video and add them to the corresponding page layout. So should be some pretty cool stuff, and we'll go ahead and jump in. First thing I want to do is go to the page layout of food storage. I remember we made a report for that. So I go to the object manager, and I want to look for the food storage object, page layouts, the food station layout. And you see up here it gives us the option for report charts, and it has battery inventory and new food storages report. So I'm going to add a new section, and I'll put it at the top, and this will be called reporting. Have just a detail page, edit page, one column. Okay, and in there, because I only have one report, I did one column. I know I'm food storages report. Okay, so now this report is placed here, and I'm going to save. So now when I go to, let's go into our Mars base. Okay, and then when I create a new record, let's say this one will be watermelon group 10. And this would work with an existing item, but I'm just making a new one just because. So now you see on the detail page this produce. So I'm saying I have one record of produce here. And the cool thing, if you wanted to start showing reporting inside of detail pages, you can probably get pretty complex with it and show very meaningful information. So this is just an example of what that would look like. I'm going to go back to the object manager though. And so I can do the same thing with our battery storage. So I'm going to go into that object, page layout, battery plant layout, report chart. And you see I can create a new section. I'll put it right on top, call it reporting, one column because I only have one report. And battery inventory, I can place that there and save. So now when I go into the Mars colony, so I can go to the batteries, and I can just jump into one that already exists. So I'll hit the Duracell battery, and first thing on the detail page is showing the very simple chart, just showing this is a single battery, record count 1, and it's Duracell. So again, these are very simple, but it just shows the premise of what kind of ideas that we could use when we add report charts to page layouts. So what I wanted to look at next is that we don't have any security settings. So I will illustrate it on the whiteboard, just something basic to show what a profile would be for and how field level security would play in. And then we're going to just hop into the org and complete those items, and that would summarize this video. Okay, so I'm going to briefly describe what these profile field level security would be looking like. We only have 4 people in our org, so I'll just use an example that shows a user 1, user 2, and user 3. And so let's say down here we have a bunch of records. And these can be any type of record. This is just information. These can be objects. Let's say user 1 is allowed to see just these. User 2 is allowed to see everything. User 2. User 3 is allowed to see everything, but only edit these. But then this user can edit these. Notice user 1 can access these, can't edit. Let's say user 2 can access everything, but can't edit. That's one way to look at it. Another would be, so this stands for create, read, edit, and delete. You could modify the profiles, people's access to things based on the ability to create a record, read it, edit, or delete. This is just a example that could be related to either one of these. So you could say user 3 can delete all of these. User 2 can view them all, can read them, but can't create, edit, or delete. Or user 1 can create these, but can't edit or delete or read any of these. So the goal when you're setting up profiles, permission sets, which open up access, would be just to know which user needs what, and out of create, read, edit, and delete, what they could or should be touching. This also follows after org-wide defaults. So if the organization is set to, let's say, private, then these profiles would be a lot more important when it comes to create, read, edit, and delete. So now whoever has these permissions, so like user 3 can either create, read, edit, or delete on these objects. This user is now a lot more effective. Setup, and we're going to visit profiles under users. And you see here we have all of the different standard profiles that come out of the box. And you'll see on the second page you have the standard platform user. That's what everyone is right now except for my account, which is the system administrator. So usually when you want to make custom profiles, it's best just to clone the standard platform user. And I can give the profile a name. I will say special standard user. So this person, I think I'll give them all the same abilities as a standard profile user, but I'll go in and edit here, and I want to change something on theirs. A special user, the ability to create, edit, read, and delete batteries, as well as fueling station. So now this is a special standard user. This could be used for any particular reasons and whatever you deem necessary per user, and you can just give them ability to work with your custom objects, your standard object permissions, and even administrative, such as doing things with the platform. So this one, I'm just going to keep it simple, giving them access to create, read, edit, and delete batteries and fueling stations. So I'm going to save that. And now I would want to assign this profile to somebody. So right now it's just a profile, but who has the profile? So I'm going to go back to my users, and I'm going to give someone this new profile. So I've got Penny California here. She seems like a good candidate. Going to edit here. Profile. I'm going to select special standard. Now when I save it, this user, this astronaut, will be able to have the special standard. So now this person's allowed to make edits, read, and create records for those two custom objects. So now I'm going to hop into the object manager. So remember we added these fields, battery location for example, and I can go to this wrench here and make it read only. That's one way that I could adjust the field properties. So that means no one who's not an administrator is able to change the location of the battery. So that's a possible way to manipulate who could do what with data straight from the page layout. Okay, so this is a short video, but this just shows how to add reports to a page layout, as well as setting custom profiles and just showing the kind of things that we can manipulate using that. So those are pretty cool, definitely very important building blocks of using Salesforce. For now, I'm just going through some of the basics, showing you all what is possible on the platform and where to click to find what you need. And so hopefully that helps somewhat, and I'll see you in the next video.